Is that what she said? She thinks it's stress? Or?
No, she said it's nothing to worry about. It's still in the normal range. I'm like, I'm not used to being in the normal range. I'm used to being in the,
perfect range, yeah.
Yeah, the right range. It's got me a little bit freaked out.
Well, you're going to Africa next week, so maybe that'll help, right?
Going to Egypt. Start investing in this relationship. I'm going to Africa over Christmas. I'm taking my sister, my nephew, and niece. I'm going to Egypt on Saturday.
Hold on. Do you think that Egypt isn't a part of Africa?
Oh, are you accusing me of being a racist? That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Egypt is in the continent of Africa. Just want to make sure we're clear on that.
I've heard, but
okay.
I thought you were referring to my trip. I'm going to South Africa over the holidays.
Different Africa trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well, yeah, you excited for Egypt?
Yeah, I am. We're doing one of these flatboat river cruises, and it's great. You do all these cultural things, which I hate, but supposedly it's good for kids. So we're going to see the Sphinx and the pyramids and spend a couple of days in Cairo. I'm curious to see how my kids react to Cairo. Yeah, I'm excited about it. We're going with another family. The key, just a pro tip, once your kids get above 10 or 11, if you don't travel with other families and other kids, it's a nightmare. Your kids are not impressed. They don't want to relax. They don't care about food. They don't care how beautiful the place is. If you don't have other kids with you, they just turn on you. They just turn on you and they turn awful. So anyways, we're traveling with another family, the Bjorgesons, who are with this wonderful family with cool kids, and the parents are fun. So it's not easy to find families you like who have kids. It is not easy. The mom's got to get along. The dad's got to get along. The kids got to. If you find a family you can travel with, hold on to them, Ed. Hold on to them. Anyways, get to the news. I can tell you that the difference, as someone who grew up lower, I would say we were upper, lower middle class. Once I got to a point where I was making kind of good money, making $100,000 a year, right? I kind of did that right out of business school, right? That was the first time I had enough money to kind of spend money on my mom and think about buying a house. I was much happier, just much happier. It was just not a struggle because you're young and you have beer and friends and you can find fun other ways, but it just was a lot of stress growing up without money. And I mean, I just look back on it. It's like, I always say that it was like this ghost following you around kind of saying you're not worthy. And you have to think about things that other people don't have to think about. You have to think about, I just remember, I don't know if you've ever done this. I couldn't buy a full tank of gas until I was 25. I would always put $5 in or $8 in. I never had when I got to a point where I could just fill her up, that felt liberating. And that wasn't until my kind of late 20s. And then making real money, quite frankly, I got even happier.
Let's take a look at the week ahead. We'll see the US unemployment rate for March, and Disney's shareholders are casting their votes at the company's annual meeting. So we'll see if Nelson Peltz finally gets a seat on the board.
When I ran a proxy fight against the New York Times, I don't know if you know this, Ed, I was on the board of the New York Times, but when I was running a proxy fight, I'm like, this company needs to spin off its building and do you realize the New York Times owns 17% of the Boston Red Sox? Anyway, none of this shit made any sense. So I raised $700 million around a proxy fight. When the CEO and the chairman of the company showed up in our office, I'm like, we've won. They're not the only reason they're negotiating with us is they have called their shareholders and they've said, no, put that guy on the board. I'm like, they've lost. They wouldn't be here unless they knew they had lost. The only reason this is going to a shareholder vote is that Bob and his proxy solicitor have done the math and said, we're going to win. So the prediction is that Nelson Peltz does not get a seat on Disney's board.